That we do. So what the priorities that we have 14 commitments, as I said, but they're around the environment, nutrition, health, and wellness, and then working with local communities. That's a really key piece for us because, when I worked in Africa for 10 years, one of our employees had, on average, 12 people back in the village that they were supporting. So having a job and really made a big difference back at home. And the kind of pride we'd see our employees on their day off, and they'd still be wearing their uniforms and their safety shoes because of the pride that came with that. But developing microfinance initiatives and helping people that are disadvantaged to create their own jobs, and companies such as transportation to transport our workers, waste collection, etc. We're now outsourcing to them in small villages. So there's a host of things we're doing. And then engaging with our stakeholder communities. So the 14 different initiatives that we have around, of course, reducing our carbon intensity, reducing water, all the different things that the previous speaker talked about and more. We've made some really concrete initiatives that we will adhere to over the next few years as we roll this out. Of course, it takes time to push things through the organization, but we're really committed to it. I mean, we started our journey in diversity, and we got to be recognized as #1, and that came out of a class action lawsuit that our organization went through acquiring a company. When this company was acquired, there were managers that were African American in the United States that felt that they were passed over for management jobs. So we acquired this situation, but we turned that negative into a positive, and we now have a very robust program that is really a leading organization that I know of in the service industry. It's not just, we send our workers to a class once a year. It's very much integrated into the whole organization. And I think into that same vein, when you're going to do something that's really integral and integrated, I think we're on a journey, and I think we're headed in the right path. And I think with the example that I used about that, because we don't often talk about the negative things, but when you turn that into a positive, I think that's really the goal. So what are the things that you can provide, have a difference? Of course, I'll share this PowerPoint with you. I've got a lot of information that I won't share in the interest of time. But what I will do is I will share with you the kind of audit documents that we use when doing the kind of audits that you talked about, and the kind of metrics that we use. And I'll make that available to all of you all. But you can imagine if we're training our employees, a typical chef will come in the morning, they'll turn on the water or the oven, and that'll be going for hours. And we're working on behalf of our clients, on behalf of all of you. So we're not saving ourselves money, we're saving our clients' money, all of your money. And I think it's all about the practices that you can put into place. But there are many, those first few were the soft services around catering and others, but the facilities piece is really a big one, as you all know. And I think it's just tremendous the amount of impact that you can make. So I won't go into all of the rest that I was going to in the interest of time, but just suffice it to say that I've got some data and some forms and all the assistance that we have as an organization to provide to you. So I guess the practice, what you preach, making the commitments. It was said a couple times, I think, during the conference that we'll tell our students this, but we may not be doing it at home. And I think that that's a really a good message that I took away from it. Engage your students. We're doing a lot of things because of the students, particularly at Jesuit institutions, that are changing our organization and having us do things that we might not have done or were clear to us because of that social consciousness that you're teaching. So I would say continue the service learning piece. Sodexo sends its managers and executives. That's why I went working in Africa. And in developing countries to see and to learn and to bring a different perspective to the organization, and I would say that that's an outstanding thing. The other thing I would do is also stress language. And I know in the United States, where I currently live, language is the second language just isn't really something that's really thought of. And I know that that was a key differentiator for myself to work and live overseas, having learned French. So I would recommend that. And then demand compliance of your partners in supply chain. You know, we talked about supply chain a lot during this conference, and I would say that if you're putting out a request for proposal where you're working with a partner, you really need to inspect what they're doing and make sure that if they're going to work with you, that they're living up to the kind of mission and value and vision that you all have. So that's what I have to say today. I really appreciate your time, and best of luck for the rest of the conference. Thank you.